Yep. Hello all, welcome to One Pitch Catch. We are recording this after South Africa won the WTC final against Australia at Lord's, completely unexpected and definitely a major upset considering Australia's stature from an international cricket and especially Test cricket perspective. You could argue, I mean, South Africa actually topped the table, so you could say it's went as per the seedings or whatever. But still, I mean, this is something that most people were perhaps not expecting. And it is South Africa's second ever world title after the ICC knockout in 98, when maybe most of the people that watched this channel were probably not even born at that time. Ganesh, what did you think about the match, the result? It seemed like a very bowler friendly pitch for the first couple of days and then just eased out after that.
And absolutely shocking. I mean, to be very honest, today, South Africa winning was not shocking. At the end of the day, yesterday, I was surprised the way that South Africa had batted, especially Bavuma and Markram, especially Markram. I thought Australia is going to win this easily. Moment the target was 282 in the fourth innings. It was the highest score of the match came in the fourth
Correct.
innings. So I did not think South Africa had a chance to score 282. Definitely, I was totally wrong because Markram played probably the best innings of his life. I think
Yeah.
Markram has always shown promise. Ever since I saw him, I always felt he has a lot of promise, and he's never fulfilled. He never lived
Yeah.
up to the potential that he showed, except for here and there one innings. I mean, when we talk of Markram's 100, the 100 that comes to my mind is his 100 versus India, which South Africa lost. But he got 106 of 100 out of the total of 176 at more than run a ball.
Right.
So on a wicket that was almost termed unplayable. In fact, Rohit Sharma complained about the wicket. He was talking about I don't know how ICC rates wickets and
Yeah,
all those
allowed.
things was part of his comments after the test. And in that, he got 106 of 102. It was not berserk hitting, just throw the bat. When he played proper cricket also in that innings, it was a brilliant innings. Though South Africa lost that game, but I think probably Markram's best innings of his life came today. Yesterday actually, when he got that 100, and today the team won. So I think, and like you said, Jaga, it was a bowlers test match. All
Yeah.
everybody. I mean, the first 2 days, 28 wickets were lost. It was completely a bowlers test match. I start with Rabada, Pat Cummins, Ngidi. I
Yeah.
mean, again, Rabada also in the second innings. Everybody bowled extremely well, used the conditions very well, of course. This also creates the question of, I mean, how this WTC, this cycle has gone. The bowlers have dominated. The batting
Yeah. Correct.
averages have dropped down. So that lived up to that for the first 2 days again. But again, repeating again, Markram played the innings of his life and turned
And
the
he didn't,
bowler
and
dominated
he
test match.
bowled also. He
Yeah, yeah.
got he got pretty important wickets.
Yes,
Steve
yes,
Smith in the
yes.
first innings, and in the second innings, he only wrapped up the final wicket. Like I think
Hazelwood.
Hazelwood and
Hazelwood.
Lyon or somebody had a 50-run partnership,
Yes,
and
Hazelwood.
he only wrapped it up.
In
So
fact,
he played a
Steve
part of the
Smith.
ball also.
Yeah, in fact, Steve Smith in his press meet, he talked about getting out to Markram after day one. So that is nice, but I think Markram had a fabulous game. Forget the bowling,
Yeah.
even two important wickets, yes. But I think that's the innings of his life so far. He's just 30, 31, so I think
Yeah.
he's hitting
More
his
things.
prime. If this is hitting his prime, it's a very good news for South African cricket fans and the South African team.
And
Um,
hopefully South Africa get a lot more opportunities to play against a lot of other teams. I mean, because there's always this discussion now going on about, who did they beat and things like that. I mean, it's a fair comment, but at the same time, you played against the tour, the whatever the Future Tours program had scheduled, right? And it's not like they
but
didn't beat or they didn't play a lot of other teams. They played India, they played pretty much every other team except Australia and England. So
it's
which
not
is
their
not in their
fault. It's not their fault. I mean, if you have the point fingers at them, not respecting WTC was sending a C team to New Zealand, but otherwise playing easy opposition towards the end is not their fault. So
yeah.
that is a scheduling ICC. I mean, England,
Correct.
Australia, and India don't play them that much as much as they play amongst themselves. Okay, we've
Right.
covered that in the preview, but
Yeah.
so that is so
There was an
that
interesting
I think they've deserved
thing that
winners, especially now. Hmm.
there was an interesting event that happened in South Africa's first innings. I wanted to just try and cover that. David Bedingham played, I think it was probably Nathan Lyons bowling, and he
Hmm.
just tried to defend it. The ball may or may not have taken an edge, and then it got lodged into his pad. And Alex Carey basically tried to collect something from under him, and he plucks the ball and literally throws it onto the ground away from Alex Carey so that he doesn't take the catch. So, I mean, is that should be handle the ball or obstructing the field or
That
whatever, right?
I also watched it, Jaga. Yes, that should have been given out. In fact, I was very surprised when the umpires convened and discussed and called it a dead ball. And Pat Cummins and co also didn't press for a third umpire's decision or push towards appealing and all those things. They took it very lightly. I don't know why Australia, knowing Australia, took it very
Yeah.
lightly. Because I personally felt it was definitely out. Bedingham had no business
Definitely.
touching that ball. Whether he inside edged it or not is another story. But he should not have prevented Alex Carey from collecting
Right.
that ball. So because Alex, I mean, that should have been given out. I mean, in today's rules, it should have been obstructing the field because
Yeah.
since they are handling the ball and obstructing the field are merged now, it would have been handling the ball before and now it is obstructing the field.
Right.
So it should have been definitely out. I don't know why. And also the umpires also calling it a dead ball was very, very
That is
questionable in my
weird.
book.
Yeah. And
So
the other thing that happened today from an umpiring perspective was Varane towards the last stages when basically they needed like a couple of runs or something like that. He tried to, I think he tried to scoop and it hit his glove, went to the keeper. Australia appealed, umpire gave not out. They had run out of reviews.
all the three reviews they had
And it
used
was
up.
definitely out. I mean, not that it would have changed the result, but that was a interesting, and at first it was not a great decision. You could obviously see it was a nick, and the fact that Australia had run out of reviews was even more bizarre. But I want to link it to something that happened in the TNPL recently,
Hmm.
where another team also ran out of reviews, and the outcome was again not that great. I believe you want to talk about that. You want to?
I watched it. I watched it. I watched that. See, it was Ashwin. Ashwin was given out in the fifth over of the first innings. Sai Kishore bowled from over the stumps, his left arm spin. It was the ball. I think it pitched outside leg stump and hit Ashwin on the pads. He was given out, and Ashwin was very unhappy about it. I mean, I also felt it was not out. I mean, honestly, the way the ball pitched and the way it was turning, it was not out. I felt, but the problem here was they had used up both the reviews in the first over of the game. You cannot, in a T20 game, you have two reviews. The first over of the game, the fourth ball and the fifth ball were given wides. Ashwin, being the captain and non-striker, insisted the batsman Shivam Singh to go for the review and wasted both the reviews. Both of them were turned
I
down,
think
turned
white.
down, saying the umpire didn't give a wide and they wanted it to be a wide, and the third umpire looked at it, and I also looked at it, and I mean, when I saw it on TV, I felt they were not wides. It was right. It's a right call was made, though the out decision was not so right a call. That call was right. Those two were not wides. Unnecessarily wasting two reviews on a wide is absolutely unacceptable in a T20 game. In the first over, it was the fourth and fifth ball of the first over of the game. It is absolutely not on. More than this, forget the reviews, misusing the reviews, not using it effectively. The behavior of Ashwin was
Hmm.
absolutely not acceptable. I think Ashwin, I think he is the greatest cricketer to come from Tamil Nadu. So in that way, he cannot set such wrong examples to kids watching. Now, forget kids, any cricket fan, any cricket watcher, his teammates, the opponents,
Opponents, yeah.
everybody want to become an Ashwin in future. All the youngsters who are playing the game today want to become an Ashwin. This is very wrong precedence. I mean, I have been a big supporter of Ashwin, especially when the Joss Butler run out happened. I mean, I don't want
Yeah.
to call it monkered, probably we can call it Bill Brown. because
Or run out at the non-striker's end or something like that.
non-strikers, and because I think Mankading is a
Yeah.
disservice to Vinu Mankad, I feel. So it should be Bill Brown. Um, so that way, when he did that, I was everybody. I mean, a lot of people were supporting Ashwin. Also, I am a huge supporter of that. Non-striker should not get out. That dismissal should be completely allowed. Sometimes the bowler says, "Come back in," and all those things. That is, I mean, that is okay. I mean, even recently, Rishabh Pant called
Correct.
back the
Call him
batsman.
back.
That was on very bad taste. I mean, he should have supported his bowler, I feel. Okay, that's for another day. But Ashwin, the way, and then when he walked out, he threw the glove and he behaved. I mean, he always in his videos he comes up and says, "You place 3 wickets outside on the road. I am very committed to playing cricket. I'll play cricket anywhere. You play cricket, but on your terms. No, no, no. You
Ah,
play cricket on the rules of the game. You
yeah.
don't do on your terms. Say yes, it was not out, but do not behave like that. Especially being an elderly statesman of the game,
Yeah.
you
You set
treat
an
people,
example, right?
set an example. That was very, very bitter to watch. I mean, this is not the first time. Even last year in
Yeah,
TNPL,
exactly. Yeah.
a DRS
He
review was
reviewed a DRS.
he
There
reviewed
was
it
a
a
DRS.
DRS. So, and there is another video I watched on YouTube where he's shouting at his teammate for not doing something right. Uh,
I think his teammate was not scoring at the right pace.
uh,
And he said, Ulla was out. Like,
so
okay, I mean, obviously he's not going to kill him or something like that. But that's
yes,
not what you want to be portrayed, right?
no, no, no. For all the
Behavior is
talk,
absolutely
for all,
unacceptable, abominable behavior. It seems like he's taking his star status too seriously from a TNPL perspective. I'm sure. I mean, he's attracting the crowds. Him being in the TNPL is definitely a big deal. It shows the passion that he carries just playing cricket, playing and improving Tamil Nadu cricket through his own presence and motivating youngsters. But what he needs to be aware of is that the youngsters don't just see what he does with bat or ball or in the field, they also see this, right? What you definitely don't want is other youngsters emulating this kind of behavior. I mean, we've seen the same thing. We've spoken about Virat's behavior in the past as well, right? So, uh, all of these folks need to know that there's a certain stature by virtue of their stature, by virtue of their performance, they set examples, and this is not a good example.
yeah, even MS Dhoni did it once. So
MS
for I mean
Dhoni also did it.
for all the good things that he's done on a cricket field, for all the
No, we're not
gentlemanly
singling
behavior,
out Indian players. There are players all over the
exactly,
world. Keep
exactly.
Ponting, Steve Waugh, everybody has done it. So not singling out Indian players. We're even just giving recent examples.
A lot of people have done it, but see, this the great cricketer that Ashwin is, no, and especially, I mean, for all that, and in a TNPL where he is looked upon, he is the icon of TNPL cricket. So he cannot be behaving that way. That sets a very wrong example. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I mean, apologizing is not the right thing to do. I mean, there is the damage is done, I feel.
Definitely. I mean, I'll take the example of sometime in the early 2000s. Sangakkara was on 99 or something like that, and he plays it down to long leg. It was New Zealand versus Sri
McCullum.
Lanka, and the fielder threw in. They completed the run, and Murli started running. Not running, he started basically exited the non-strikers end to congratulate Sangakkara on 100. McCallum, the wicketkeeper, collects the ball, runs out, technically run out because they had they were you could say that he was
Yes,
attempting a second run,
yes.
but and they appealed. The dismissal was given. Sangakkara, I don't know. I think it's probably all out by then. I don't know. If Sangakkara got his 100, but then years later, McCallum apologizes for it. But there's
He
no
should not have.
point. Just like
He
you
said, "I
draw
should
and
not have
say,
run out."
yeah, you did it already, right? Yeah. If you had to apologize, you should have done it the same day. See, things happen in the heat of the moment where it's competitive nature and you want to win, and don't no point apologizing next day or 7 years later.
No point.
Apologize. What Ashwin should have done was, yes, I showed bad judgment in fighting. I'm sorry I did that. I should not have thrown my equipment. He should have apologized to the umpire same day. He should have apologized to the TNPL officials same day. They put some penalty or something like that, if I remember right. But it doesn't matter.
The
10%
penalties
of a
don't
match fee
matter
for
to
an
these
Ashwin won.
people. I mean, the TNPL fee itself doesn't matter to Ashwin.
Yeah,
Where is the penalty going to matter? So I don't. I mean, it's not. I mean, somebody.
yeah.
I hope Ashwin, the smart guy that he is, all the intelligent talks that he gives. I mean, the intelligent bowler that he is, the intelligent man that I've seen of Ashwin. I think I think he can behave better to set an example to all the
You expect a
youngsters.
lot more.
Hmm.
Yeah, you expect a lot more.
Yeah.
And I hope that, I mean, well, yes, I hope that he continues to play in the TNPL because it's important for the league and for Tamil Nadu cricket. But I also hope that he changes how he behaves in these circumstances.
And it's a great feeder for IPL. Lot of TNPL stars have done
Yeah,
well, gone on to do well
correct,
in IPL also. I mean,
correct,
eventually go and play for the country. So
correct. Yeah.
I think I'm like you say, yes, I'm glad he plays, but he gives the respect that TNPL deserves as a player. He can be the icon of TNPL, but when you play, when you bat, when you bowl, you're a player in the TNPL.
Yeah, it's not on your terms, basically. Nice. Yeah. So good thing to close that out. Other than that, nothing much else. We'll come back in a few days' time, probably a little ahead of the India-England Test series that starts. I think next Friday is probably when it
I think I
starts.
think uh, I think some India A game is happening.
It's a tour game. India's
There's no
India A. It's
coverage
a
as such. There's
closed,
no behind
closed
closed doors.
environment tour game.
Yeah, closed doors. And Gambhir is for personal reasons he's back in India. I'm thinking he should be back in time for the first test.
Hopefully, yeah, because I'm
Hopefully
I'm
all is
actually now worried, right? I mean, yes, Gautam Gambhir is pretty new from a coaching perspective, unproven from tests, but at the same time, you have a very young captain. Even his support staff are fairly new, right? Whether it's Doshet or Sitanshu Kotak or any of the others, they're all
okay.
fairly new. So it becomes challenging in already the environment does not have Ashwin, Virat. Rohit, and then on top of it, Gautam is not around. Hopefully, he comes back soon.
Let's
And
see. I
things.
mean, hopefully sometimes these kind of things might bring out the best in these youngsters. Like the
Hopefully,
one at
yeah.
Brisbane. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah.
Mhm. So,
Yeah, sure.
so let us see.
Great. That's about it. And we'll call it a wrap. So once again, congrats South Africa for an amazing
Uh,
win.
Fabulous win. Fabulous win.
Really, really well. And we obviously, that also means that the next WTC cycle effectively starts from the India England series. Hopefully, it turns out to be as good as this one was. And an interesting thing that I noticed is that is there a bias in the WTC winners for Southern Hemisphere teams? We had New Zealand, we had Australia, and we have South Africa. Is there an inherent bias built in, or are they just that much better than the rest?
I think they are the only teams who play, right? Or probably you can call Zimbabwe also.
Yeah, I know,
So
but the Northern Hemisphere teams are not winning.
yeah, but the final seems to be happening in the northern hemisphere.
That's okay.
So
Great.
good.
Thank
Good
you
spot.
all.
Three different winners we have in three editions. That's a good thing for
Good.
cricket.
Yeah, even the finalists have been, I mean, Australia twice,
India
India
twice.
twice, New Zealand and South Africa rounding it up. So it's been good.
Everybody who's reached the final has won except India.
Yeah, that's true. Okay,
Okay.
great. That's about it.
Okay.
We'll wrap and we'll come back again in a few days. Until then, please do keep watching and following these videos. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye
good
bye.
night.